All righty, everybody. Oh, happy day. I hope you're doing insanely well. Today, I'm sitting here with Cindy. She graduated the telemastery program and is getting after it. $5,649 in AP in 2.5 days of work. I'm going to introduce her to you. We're going to have a great interview. But before I dive into this, jasonfinalexpense.com. I run a national insurance agency partnering with some of the most amazing agents on the planet. Cindy is one of them. Amazing lady I'm going to introduce to you. Oh my goodness, we do lots of good stuff with life insurance, Medicare insurance, and annuities, face-to-face, but more importantly, in the telespace. So if you need help, reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. So Cindy, say hey. Thanks for
Hey,
joining us.
nice to see everybody.
Yeah, so Cindy got after it, just recently graduated the telemastery training that we do here. And Cindy worked aged leads and wrote your very first day. Okay,
Yeah.
Cindy. And how did that happen for you? Was it, I know there's a lot of like nervousness sometimes when you do something that's different. And when you went through the training, did it help you in a big way to be able to get after an aged lead and to be able to immediately convert it?
Yes, it actually helped because I was able to use my script and then go straight into the calls. Also, motivation wise, it kept me, when coming out of training, you're hyped up so high and you're ready to go. And so hitting a lot of no's is okay. You just kind of go through them like butter, literally.
Was there any objection that you were faced with that you weren't taught to overcome? Like, was there any of that going on, or was it maybe a little easier on the phone than what you went through the gauntlet with training?
No, I actually, as far as that goes, that was a big deal to me because I've had actually several practice companies and going and having already set in front of me all the objections and how to just collide them was a tremendous help to me because that was one of the issues that I was having prior.
I know a lot of folks have come from other practice companies, and it's been there, done that myself. Okay, I used to be captive way back in the day. I get it. It's like a
Yeah.
lot of times it's like, here's a script. Hope you make it, Cindy. That when you went through 5 days of training before you ever got after your leads and you started off with age leads, do you feel like you were pretty prepared that when you got on the phones, you were able to get it done? I mean, obviously proof's in the pudding, you're slaying it and you wrote
Yes.
immediately.
Yes,
How
I
was
was
your feelings?
actually very ready because a lot of times prior I'd meet up with people and they would throw the same objections to me that I've always gotten, and I was not comfortable in bringing it back out to them and being able to actually come back with something. And I was ready this time. So there was no stopping me.
Were you trained in the past, Cindy? Like kind of like it's a boxing match, like more
No.
of an aggressor in the past? I
I
mean, I
hate
don't
to
know.
say
I was
that,
I
but
was
I
trained that way
wasn't.
back in the day.
No, I wasn't. I definitely, and I've had different types. I've done what is called a debit account where I had to meet people in person, do the collections for these people. And so I have done it since 2017. And I can tell you, unfortunately, I loved actually some of my companies, but they did not prepare me, not the way that I needed to be.
And the fact that like here you are, you're rocking, you're rolling. I mean, to do 7 sales in 2.5 days, working for the old debit company or working for your past, IMOs, FMOs, that's a lot of amazing production in the industry in a very short period of time. That is something that I'm really proud of you and every person on the team. Like our culture is very important, and you're part of that culture now, part of the work family. And would you say that culture is important to you? Was that maybe part of your decision in any small ways when you
That is
joined
a
up? And
big issue for me and a big thing for me to have someone and have a family online that's going to be there for me to answer questions, to motivate me, to keep us going when we don't want to take another no for for a little while. But I found that with you, we actually do feel like a family. We're motivating each other. I know that last month, at the end of the month, stuff was slow, and everybody was like, why are things going so slow? And we were all there to motivate each other, put in our motivational comments, and just keep ourselves going. Because I wouldn't have been able to get it to this week if I hadn't gone through that week.
Makes you appreciate those wins, doesn't it? It
Yes,
does.
very much.
Christmas week is like, that's why I was saying on the team, I'm like, okay, everybody work Monday, Tuesday, hang it
Yeah.
up at this point. Like, don't touch it, don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because so
And
many
it's true.
agents, they trash leads. It's like their IMO, their FMO, their upline tells them, because they're kind of greedy. They're like, oh, just go work those leads, and you're just like shredding your leads
Yeah.
in the shredder. You're lighting on fire, and I hate that. And at least we kind of circle together and as a team, and
Yep.
it's definitely different. I mean, when you need me, like for anything, and it's not like we've got a bunch of needy folks. When you went through training, you understand a lot. But if you ever need me, when you have to reach out or you have to call on anything, just for the audience, how long does it take you to get a hold of me when you need something?
I can tell you it took probably about not even a minute to 2 minutes for a callback. So it was almost immediate. It was immediate. So I got the answer that I needed. I mean, you responded almost immediately. So it was really great to feel that, hey, someone is making sure that they take care of me and that they answer any questions that I have.
It's not that you don't know everything, you know what you're doing, but have you ever experienced that much in the past with past practice companies where you actually got answers in real time? Was that your experience prior, or is this something that's
No,
more unique?
that's very unique. I've unfortunately experienced or been able to experience where I actually ask the question or I text that person and I get no response, like ever. It's like, what's going on? Who's out there? Is anyone out there listening? So
Right.
no, I've actually experienced the opposite of that. So no, it was new to have someone actually answer me and answer my question, almost immediately.
I mean, one thing in our agency, it's like we're work family. It's like it
Yep.
does, and we're not all perfect. I'm still not perfect, but we try. We do our
Yep.
best, right? And it's like I know in a lot of practice companies, it's like poor agents are like, Bueller, I got a question. Hello, Bueller, are you there? And it's like killing me, Smalls. It's like somebody pick
Yeah.
up the phone. And it's like in telesales, if you didn't have an answer within a couple minutes,
Yeah.
do you feel that would have cost you money on the phones
Hmm.
in what we do?
Yes, it definitely will cost you money because then you're losing that person's trust and they may not feel like you are a type of agent that can help them and you know all the facts about what they're needing. So they definitely want to make sure that they're dealing with someone that is not only experienced but is going to have the answers for them because they're turning to you as an agent.
Absolutely. And we're their advocates, and we do such a great job. And you, Cindy, do an amazing job. I mean, you're taking care of great people. I mean, in 2.5 days, you made 7 people's lives so much better. It's like in
Yep.
the people that they leave behind when that day comes, right? When we all take a dirt naps, I'll take one as well someday. But when that happens, it's like you just guarded 7 people. And
Yep.
like what we do in the insurance industry, it really does matter. And it's
Yeah, it
like
does.
not only to be able to do that, but also like the provision that you're providing for, Cindy, is powerful. How does that make you feel to make, 5,649 of AP in 2.5 days? Like at the end of your 2.5 days, what do you feel like when it's like, this is what you did?
It feels great. I can't even lie. There's a big, not only you're helping people, but you're getting to also make a living at it. It's a great feeling. I was on a high, and I can tell you, I had a smile on my face because I knew I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm helping people. Everything that I'm doing, I'm at a place where now I'm happy and I'm helping people at the same time and I'm making money while doing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I loved it.
So you're not having to do what other agencies do. You're not having to use Zoom or
Yeah.
for telesales,
Yeah.
right? We're not using
No,
Zoom
no, it's
secretly.
all on the phone. All on the phone.
It's
Yep.
so funny because other agencies, that's what they say, right? Like, oh, we do telesales, but then they go do Zoom. And it's like, are you kidding me? Could you imagine having to like book an appointment to then go sell by the phone? Agencies do this. It's
No.
easy. But where one call closes, with an exception, right? We'll get
Yeah.
every now and then, we'll get
Yeah.
oh man, fine. I'll have to wait for you to
Yeah.
get home and get the checkbook. Okay, fine. We'll take the money, right? We'll take
Yeah.
care of your family. But yeah, that part can be painful sometimes, but it's a
Yeah.
rarity. So
Yeah.
when you went through the telemastery program, was it anything that was super duper easy, or did you feel like it put you through the paces when you went through everything, the 5 days?
It forces you to go through the paces. And for everyone out there, there's a hell day. So get ready. And
Like,
even if you're experienced, you are definitely going to feel the crunch. So yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. But yeah, you're going to go through it. Yeah.
right? We call it Hell Day, or we call it something Jason Day. We'll keep it
Yeah.
G rated, right? So true. And then
Yeah.
I always tell everyone that I train, I'm like, all right, everybody, remember I love you, I like you, because tomorrow you're probably not going to like me too much.
Yeah.
But it's like, look at how, you dominate the phone lines for the betterment of our consumers now. And it's
Yes.
like, to go through what you went through in training, was anybody okay that rough and tough on you when you got on the phones, or was it kind of like, oh, thank you, Mrs. Mary, for being so nice to me after what I just went through with Jason? How was your feelings? It's like when you got on the phone.
I think from that, I maybe had two calls, but they were almost just hangups. So, I mean, you expect that with as many people as we talk to every day, but that's probably about it. Those weren't true conversations to me. But
Mm.
other than that, yeah, I mean, I was prepared. Once I got out of there, I was prepared for the conversations I was going to hit, any of the objections I was going to hit. And even now, I will pick up the phone and I'm ready. I mean, bring it because I'm ready for you to give me whatever objection you need to, and I'm going to hit it back. So, yeah, I'm prepared.
Did it help you increase confidence in quite a
Hmm.
different level? I mean, it's not like you're a newbie that's like, oh, I just got my license. We've got lots of agents that are brand new that train. And did I treat anybody different in class, whether they were new
No.
or a veteran?
No, you didn't treat me any different. And then I know my class, there was another person, he was brand new to the industry. So we weren't treated any differently. We went through the same exact paces. And I mean, I felt like a newbie. So it felt on new to me. So no, I definitely felt like I learned a lot more then than I ever had before. And that's because, like I said, I've been doing it since 2017, and no one had put me through it that way to teach me objections, to do it one on one, to where I knew if once I pick up that phone and they say it, I'm going to be ready. And so, yeah, it was a totally different experience, but we were all treated the same.
It's a different experience, I think, from what you're saying, from what you experienced in the past. You've never gone through, have you ever gone through that level of training, like 5 days of intensity, where it's like it's holistic approach? Have you ever gone through
No,
anything like that in your career?
no, no, not like that. It was definitely different. I mean, I've been with other bigger companies where it was a lot of people, and so you don't get that one-on-one attention that you gave us. It was not the same.
Yeah, and I'm just proud of everyone that goes through. It's like I don't treat anybody different, as Cindy will tell you.
No.
It's like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, but it's like new or veteran. It's like we do it right, or like Cindy hears in class, we do it again. We do it
Yeah.
right, or we do it again. It's no big deal. But it's like if we can get ourselves into a place where we're so ready before we ever touch a lead. And for those that are watching, anyone that's ever touched an aged lead, to make a sale your very first day working age leads, you should know what kind of a grind that is to do. It's amazing, but
Yeah.
it takes more work. So it takes a higher
Yeah.
level of skill set. So to see sales made the very first day, I mean, Cindy's witnessed it. She's gone through the telemastery program, but 75% of the graduating classes that purchase leads all write business their very first day. How many hours, just out of curiosity, when you hit those leads your first day, how many hours was it until you hit your first one, your first
I
sale?
would
Just out of
say
curiosity.
about, I think it was about 4 hours it took me. But yeah, it was 4 hours and it seemed like it was forever. But you have to think when you do your 4 hours and then you hit that cell, you made how many hundreds of dollars in 4 hours? So yeah, I can't complain. So yeah.
Start doing the math. It's I mean,
It's a
your
lot.
family's got to be pretty proud of you. I'm proud of you, but my goodness, you got to sit back and, you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
I was smiling from ear to ear, but they knew I had been really busting my butt. And I talked to
yeah,
a lot of people during the day, so they knew I had done the work for it.
absolutely. It's like a lot of people think this business comes cheap, easy, or free. And that's the biggest lie in this
No,
industry. This business looks like, would you say, a lot of hard work? It takes skill, and now you've got
no.
crazy skill, but would you say it's an industry of hard work for sure?
Yes. Yes. You make money, it is because you're putting in the work behind it as well. Yeah, you have to put in the work. It doesn't just come for free.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm so with you. It's like, we got to do the work if we want the wealth. And it's like, you're doing the
Mm.
work. And it's like, man, it's like 4 hours later, boom, now you've got your sale. And you're like, oh, that's pretty nice. You know, and then you just get
Yep.
after it. And then boom, you're hitting another sale. And then it's like, here you are now. And it's like,
And yeah, and it's getting easier. So you're getting it, you like you said, and you had told me the more you do it, it'll start to rotate and it'll get easier. And it is. That's how I got to this week, was because I had a couple of bad days, but then it was like, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. And now it's just like, hey, now it's trickling. Where now my numbers are up, where I think I'm at I hate to say I'm over 50%, but my numbers are showing that I am. So right
right.
now I
It's
am over 50%. So I'm
hate
happy.
to say it, but it's the truth.
Yeah. So I'm happy. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have to go through so many calls. I'm like, yay.
And it's
But yeah.
awesome. So it's like you started out on age leads and now you're working to a better quality lead that we have, which
Yes.
is phenomenal. So it's like for everybody watching, like we start out, sometimes you get your age leads in, get yourself to a point where you're like, ooh, I'm making money. This is fun.
Yeah.
And then you move yourself up to a better lead. And I'm proud of you. I mean, a 50% plus ratio, most agents only do about a 30 to 38% at best, close rate. That's industry normal. And for you to be able to hit 50+%, that is skill. And you're starting to really, like we talked about in training, you just get better and better and sharper. And that's not arrogance, that's confidence and amazingness that you're just getting it done. I mean, that's something to be excited about. And it's a lot of other, you know, agents, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm kind of like, I do my numbers and I'm like, actually at a 50% close rate. And it's like, that's something to celebrate.
Yeah.
It really is,
Yeah.
because that's
Because
not easy.
I have never been at this close rate before. And I do my percentages. I'm one of those people that keeps up my numbers. And the highest I had done before was, like you said, about 38%. So I had been looking at everything and I write down everything and calculate everything to a T. So when I saw my numbers go up this week, I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Okay, this is getting a whole lot better. I was like, yeah.
Would you say that the training and the scripting and all the like hell day and everything else that we went through in the 5 days, would you say that's helped you a little bit, maybe increase your closing ratios from what you've had in the past? And
Yes, because unfortunately, I don't feel like I had I wouldn't say courage, but I didn't have the enthusiasm that I needed. I mean, I was hungry, but it wasn't there. There was something missing that I needed. And the training gave it to me. And I was ready to go. It was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Like there was that belief that a light turned on and it said, okay, you can do this too. Go. So yeah, I needed that extra push because no one else was giving me that.
I'm proud of you. And I mean, you see, like in our work family, where it's like we're just like having fun with each other, and you'll see all the fun stuff we do, and it's like we are absolutely like, Cindy, you're, for yourself and for your family, and providing for everyone that you're providing for. I mean, that's exciting. But do you ever feel like you're kind of alone or by yourself in any point since you've
Mm-mm.
come on to the agency?
No, no, I actually don't. And I always have my phone with me. Of course, I'm on calls all the time. But no, I actually laugh and I pay attention to questions people are putting out there. And I see that not only myself, but other people will help answer questions. So we're all there together. So I never feel like I'm by myself.
Have you felt like that in the past, maybe where you work for other companies where they're really big, right? Don't get me wrong, there's some big ones out there. But did you ever feel like you didn't have access to certain things, or maybe, you're kind
Yes.
of alone?
Yes. And I've been doing like just working from home, doing different things for insurance. And so there have been times where I can tell you that it did feel like you're just out there by yourself. And you could even, I have come from bigger companies where you have someone on a screen that's supposed to be watching you 24/7 while you're on, and you're typing in a question at the same time, and that question does not always get answered. They could be busy doing something else. So, no, it doesn't always happen that way. Even when you think it's supposed to be that way, it may not. And this is one of the first times where I know if I put an answer or if I call you, something's going to happen. So I don't feel like I'm just going to be left here. So, yeah, I know I'm going to get an answer.
That's crazy how they were watching you. Like, and I know this happens. It's like, seriously, isn't that
So
so creepy? It's like, now,
I can
Cindy,
tell you some stories that would just, people would be like, I'm never going to do this for anyone. But it's this type of position, it takes a lot of hard work. But at the same time, Big Brother will watch you if you're working for a bigger company. I don't care if you're working from home, they pay attention to everything. So things that you may not know they're paying attention to, it's in the numbers, they're paying attention somewhere and it's going to come up. So if you take a 5 minute break to go to the bathroom, that's going to come up. So yeah, you can go to the bathroom when you
oh,
want at this job. So you don't have to
you mean
ask
like,
anyone.
you mean, Cindy, you don't have to like text, ask permission to go on a lunch break, or like
Yeah.
you don't make vacation requests? You mean, really?
No,
I'm
I don't have to do
not
any of that.
micromanaging you?
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's a huge difference and it's a lot better pay. So, yeah,
Pay doesn't
it's
stink, does it?
great.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
nice. I mean, and it's like those that do are those that get, right? Like
Yep.
you tore it up this week. It's awesome. But yeah,
Yeah.
I know other agents horror stories of like,
Yeah.
man, like I have to almost like ask permission to take a 30-minute lunch break with
Yeah.
this company where you're 1099. It's like, are you kidding me? It's
Yeah.
nuts. But people don't
Hmm.
even believe it because they've never experienced it. And it's like,
Yeah.
got somebody looking at you through your little screen on your camera as you're working. It's like, wow, Creepersville.
Yeah.
So I don't do that, folks. We don't do
No, he
that.
doesn't.
Thank you. It's like, yikes. So yeah, no, it's a little different here, for sure. But no, I'm
Yeah.
crazy, crazy proud of you. And you know, what would you say is like your favorite thing about telephone sales, about what you do?
I don't always look like this. I put on makeup today for this. I can, if I really wanted to, I could wear my pajamas. I don't do that, but if you really wanted to, you could, because no one knows what you look like. So that's a great thing. I am also protected from COVID. I don't have to take a chance in getting anyone else sick or them getting me sick. I'm protected here in my office and I can take a break. I mean, that's everything is because you're in your own space. So you have all the control in the world. You have the control to push yourself, not push yourself, make as much money as you'd like or not do it. But I love that I have the option, that I have the control over that. So, yeah, I love that I have the control over everything. Um, I am a pusher, so I love that part, but I love that you pushed me just a little bit harder because I needed it. So yeah,
I mean, that's exciting. I mean, so many face-to-face insurance agents are out there just like touching hands, sucking everything going on. It's like there's a lot of great agents I know of even right now that are sick. And
yeah.
it's because they're exposed to a lot of things. And it's like, I love that. We don't experience that. We just
Hmm.
don't. And it's like we have our own, negative Nelly of getting hung up on, but we know how to handle it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
And
it's exciting.
we all have family right now, and we just want to keep ourselves safe or our family safe. I
Mm.
have a newborn grandson, and I want to keep him safe. He can't get a vaccine, he can't do any of that stuff. So yeah, it's just being able to have that choice and have it out there. So yeah,
So
it's a great
you,
thing.
and you being so independent, it's like nobody asks you for your hours. Nobody's calling you up and saying, what hours are you working, Cindy? Have
Mhm.
I ever asked you, I need your numbers or any of this kind of crazy stuff that you've experienced in the past?
No, no. And one of the things too is that we have the option to join in and watch other calls, to do all those things. And a lot of times I'm one of those people who gets embarrassed, so I'd rather not. But at the same time, we have that option. I know of a lot of other companies that if you're not on and you're not able to be seen doing your calls or things like that, that's a big no-no. So, that is an option here. You don't make us do it. And I love that.
Absolutely. It's like if you want to come to the table's always got food. Let's go. If you don't, that's
Yeah.
fine. And it's like it's a different environment for sure.
Yeah.
And that's on purpose, everyone. We do
Yeah.
things differently. It's like our results are a wee bit different than maybe
Yes.
you where you've been.
Yes.
I mean, you look at what Cindy's doing. That's not typical of a lot of places, and she's been around to different starter companies. It is a
Hmm.
different level of success, for
Yeah.
sure. So
Yeah.
crazy proud of you, Cindy, and what you're doing for your family, how you're protecting your family, but how you're providing, for your family and even guarding our prospects.
Yep.
Um, a lot of other agents don't know how to close business, and a lot of good prospects. Sometimes there's only one chance to make that
Yep.
phone call and get that closed. They may never talk to another insurance agent again. And the fact that you're doing such amazing work and the men and women that partner at Jason Final Expense are doing amazing work and just taking care of great people, what we do matters. And just
Yes,
crazy
it does.
proud of you. I hope you rest like a amazing sales lady that you are this
I'll be
weekend with
working
your family.
Saturdays, so no, I'm not, not resting too much.
Well, and we can choose to work Saturdays for
Yeah.
sure, everyone. We can, but it's
Yeah.
like, my goodness, it's like, why not? If you want to
Yeah.
work, go do it. It
Mhm.
is, you want to be
It's there.
successful, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So, and you'll tear it up. So, well, I appreciate you, coming on with us. And if anybody needs help, reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. Thank you so much, Cindy. Keep doing up the amazing work. I appreciate you. Have a good one, everybody.